Hello, lovely people. We are back with chapter 23. It's a continuance of 22. So, here we go. Then the whole assembly rose and led him off to Pilate. And they began to accuse him, saying, "We have found this man subverting our nation. He opposes payment of taxes to Caesar and claims to be the Messiah, the king." So Pilate asked Jesus, "Are you the king of the Jews?" "You have said so," Jesus replied. Then Pilate announced to the chief priest and the crowd, "I found no basis for a charge against this man." But they insisted and stirred up the people all over Judea by his teaching. But they insisted. He stirred up the people all over Judea by his teachings. He started in Galilee and has come all the way here. On hearing this, Pilate asked the man if he was Galilean. Then he learned that Jesus was under Herod's jurisdiction. He sent him to Herod, who was also in Jerusalem at the time. When Herod saw Jesus, he was greatly pleased because for a long time he had been wanting to see him. For what he had heard about him, he hoped to see him perform a sign of some sort. He piled him with many questions, but Jesus gave him no answer. The chief priests and the teachers of the law saw they were standing there, vehemently accusing him. Then Herod, his soldier ridiculed and mocked him, dressed him in an elegant robe. They sent him back to Pilate. That day Herod and Pilate became friends. Before they had been enemies. Pilate called together the chief priests and all the rulers and the people and said to them, "You brought me this man as one who was inciting the people to rebel. I have examined him in your presence and found no basis for charges against him. Neither has Herod, for he has sent him back to us. As you can see, he has done nothing to deserve death. Therefore, I will punish him and then release him." But the whole crowd shouted, "Away with this man! Release Barnabas to us." Barnabas had been thrown into prison for an insurrection in the city for murder. Wanting to release Jesus, Pilate applied to him again, but they kept shouting, "Crucify him, crucify him." For the third time he spoke to them. "Why? What crime has he committed? I found none in him on the grounds of death penalty. Therefore I will have him punished and then release him." But the loud shouted, they instantly demanded that he be crucified, and their shouts prevailed. So Pilate decided to grant them their demands. He released the man who had been thrown into prison for insurrection and murder, the one they asked for, and surrendered Jesus to their will. As the soldier led away, they seized Simon and Cyrus, who was on the way from the country, and they put the cross on him and made him carry it behind Jesus. The large number of people followed him, including women who murmured and wailed over him. Jesus turned and said to them, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children. For time will come when you will say, 'Blessed are the childrenless woman, the womb who has never bore, and the breasts who have never nursed.' Then they will say to the mountain, 'Fall on us,' and to the hills, 'Cover us.' For if people do these things when the tree is green, what will happen when it is dry?" 2 men, both criminals, were also led out with him to be executed. When they came to the place called Skull, they crucified him there, along with the criminals, one on the right and the other on the left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. The people stood watching, and rulers even sneered at him. They said, "He saved others. Let him save himself if he is the God's Messiah, or the chosen one." The soldier also came up and mocked him. They offered him vinegar wine and said, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." Then there was a writing notice above him, which read, "This is the King of Jews." The one of the criminals who hung there hurled insults at him. "Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But the other criminals rebuked him. "Do not fear God," he said, "since you are under the same sentence. We are punished justly, for we are getting what our deeds deserve. But this man has done nothing wrong." Then Jesus said, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus said to him, "I truly tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." It was now about noon, and darkness came over the whole land until 3 in the afternoon. There the sun stopped shining, and the curtains of the temple were torn in two. Jesus called out with a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." When he said this, he breathed his last. The centurion, seeing what had happened, praised God and said, "Surely this man was a righteous man." When all the people had gathered to witness this saw what took place, they beat their breast and went away. But all those who knew him, including women who had followed him to Galilee, stood at a distance watching these things. Now there was a man named Joseph, a member of the council, a good and upright man, who had not consented to to their decision and action. He came from Judean, a town of Arimathea, and he himself waited in the kingdom of God. He himself waited for the kingdom of God, going to Pilate. He asked for Jesus' body. Then he took it down, wrapped it in linen cloth, and placed it in a tomb cut out of rock, one in which no one had yet been laid. It was preparation day, and on the Sabbath day was about to begin. The women who had been with Jesus from Galilee followed Joseph and saw the tomb and how his body was laid in it. Then they went home and prepared spices and perfume, but the rest on the Sabbath day in obedience of the commandments. 23.